It is. Sun's out, and Waffle House for breakfast. It is with great honor that I address the Embry-Riddle graduating class of 2013 in the conclusion of this part of your life and the commencement of your next chapter. I know a lot of you work for Lockheed and other companies, and but still completing this certificate is a great achievement. So job well done, my brothers and sisters. I know several of you have earned your master's degrees, and I'm really impressed that you were able to reach that accomplishment. When I was asked to give the commencement speech, I wanted to prepare the best way I knew how. So I turned to Google, of course, and I ended up using Oprah Winfrey as my inspiration. See, Oprah, she gave the commencement speech to Harvard in 2013. Now I'm giving the speech to graduates from the Harvard of the Sky. In her speech, she talked about being on top of her game so long until she started her own network. And then her industry basically called it a flop. With true grit and determination, she turned that company around. A successful life is about turning things around. A successful life is about problem solving. And a successful life is about landing on your feet when you do fall. We all fall at some point in our lives, usually several times, especially in this day and age. It is important to remember that you have an Embry-Riddle calling card, which is recognized by every aviation company in the world. You are unique. When I reflect back on my life, I remember all the times I had to turn things around and land on my feet. I restarted my educational journey when I was 20 years old. I was a ski instructor at Vernon Valley Great Gorge in New Jersey during the winter months, and I lifeguarded during the summer months. Life was great. But then I started watching my friends graduate from college, and I knew I had to do something more meaningful with my life. There were several airline pilots that worked part-time as ski instructors, so I thought aviation sounds like a pretty cool career. So I started to talk to them, and they encouraged me to go to the best school in the world for aviation, and that's Embry-Riddle. This was my first turnaround in my life. So I applied and was accepted to this great institution, Embry-Riddle, and ventured down to Daytona Beach for summer session A. Not understanding the strategy of mixing up difficult or easy classes, plus wanting to graduate as soon as possible, I was 20 years old. I took physics, calculus, technical report writing, and started my flight training. Plus, I went to class with my surfboard tucked inside my car. As soon as class was over, I went down to the beach, threw my books in the sand, and paddled out. Then came a letter. Dear Mrs. Solder, we regret to inform you that you are now on academic probation. It was time for my second turnaround, and I knew failing would be catastrophic. Plus, I didn't want the naysayers to make the naysayers right. I love you, Mom. Thankfully, I did turn things around, graduating with honors in 1983 while earning my private pilot license. I also got married to my beautiful wife, Tammy, over there, who always gave me and still gives me good direction when I get off course. At the time of my graduation, airline pilots were being furloughed, Eastern Airlines, so the industry wasn't very promising. After graduation, my wife encouraged me to move back to New York, since we were limiting job opportunities in Daytona Beach. I don't think we have that problem in the land. There's certainly enough aviation around here. But I stayed in touch with Embry-Riddle's Career Center and learned about a job opportunity at Teterboro Airport, working for an aviation insurance agency. Insurance. I researched this thing called insurance, went for the interview, and was hired. That was almost 30 years ago, and I'm still in the industry. I was only at that Teterboro agency for a year because I made a number of new friends that were both underwriters and brokers, some that were Embry-Riddle alumni. I learned about this new thing called networking. I learned about the alphabet houses, A&A, M&M, J&A, Sedgwick, and Aon, which were international brokerage firms that had aviation divisions that dealt with airlines, manufacturers, and corporations that had flight departments. I interviewed with A&A and was hired. Worked in Manhattan, so I was on my way. I got over 100 aviation insurance colleagues located in Manhattan, Dallas, Los Angeles, Canada, and London. I gained great experience at this company, working on accounts like Brit Airways, Frontier Airlines, Eagle Express, the Goodyear Blimp, and Sequel Corporation. After 4 years with this unique aviation insurance experience, I needed to make more money and wanted more responsibility, so I joined another company, Sedgwick. They were the third largest insurance broker in the world. I was a national resource director responsible for working and developing aviation business in local offices. Plus, I worked on some major aviation accounts, including Learjet, Citicorp, and developed a number of international airports and corporate clients. I was most happy in this position since I gained a lot of experience in this leadership role and I got to travel. I developed a close relationship with a professional risk manager at Citibank and got to work on some non-aviation insurances, including marine and political risk insurance. This political risk insurance basically covers foreign government theft, in case they steal your company. I was successful with Citibank because I was very enthusiastic about their business and enjoyed learning about new insurance products. And that helped me to bank new business in foreign countries. My company received $80,000 in additional revenue based on my work. And I received a gold-plated pen. Thank you. I still keep it on my desk. During my career, I worked for 5 different companies, which isn't unusual in this day and age. Companies like people that move around searching for better opportunities and more pay. The last company I worked for didn't reward me after I produced a large piece of business for them, so I left. Frustrated, my wife suggested I go work for myself. Now that scared the death out of me. Since I was leaving my comfort zone, I'm getting a steady paycheck and benefits. I had clients that I knew would be loyal, so I made the leap and formed Aero Alliance Insurance Services in 2 weeks. I had a good reputation and was known for my integrity in the aviation insurance market, so I had no problem getting contracts with the major aviation insurance companies. That was 12 years ago, and I haven't stopped working, learning, failing, and succeeding. I can tell you that working for yourself can be frustrating at times, but there is nothing better than answering to the man in the mirror. I share my story and hope to enlighten you all about life. I know a lot of you are already working, so I thought I was dealing with younger people. There will always be ups and downs throughout life. The key to successful living is having exciting and challenging goals, continued learning, growing, and being able to solve your problems and other people's problems. You get paid for solving other people's problems, including corporations. I don't know if you heard this one about the preacher that went deer hunting. He was in the brush and he spotted a bear, and the bear spotted him and came charging at him. Well, the preacher stood up and he shot that bear twice, but the bear kept on coming. So the preacher started running and prayed, "Dear Lord, please make this bear holy." Then the preacher tripped on a hole and fell. The bear runs up next to him, kneels down, crosses his claws, prays, please bless this food for which I am about to. We need to be careful what we ask for, including the jobs you select, because sometimes people get stuck in jobs, careers they don't like. Now I want to take you on a journey with me that will get you started in the right direction towards achieving unusual success. It always amazes me when I receive resumes based on an individual's education, work experience, mainly the cover letter, because what they do, they're just shotgunning out their resumes to every aviation company, not knowing anything about the industry they're applying to. And that's including insurance, because every industry has problems or challenges with growth. Every company wants to grow. The first thing I'd like to suggest to you is establish a worthy goal, one that excites and motivates you to unusual success. You should aim, like other successful people, to reach the top 5% in your selected field. The people that climb the ladder in an organization often have one thing in common. They have goals, and they have integrity to reach those goals. They have a burning desire to succeed despite all handicaps. They know exactly what they want. They think about it every day of their lives. It gets them up in the morning, and it keeps them giving their best all day long. They have a vision of exactly what they want to do, and that vision carries them over every obstacle. This vision, this dream, this goal, invisible to the entire world, except the person holding it, is responsible for every great achievement. It has been said what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Your mind has brought you to this commencement, and congratulations are in order. You are as successful as any person reaching this milestone. Enjoy the moment of your great achievement. Now it's time to set off on a higher goal, one of independence. It's time to thank your parents, wives, and teachers for all their support toward your great achievement. It's time, we are at our very best and we are happiest when we are fully engaged in the work we enjoy on a journey towards the goal we've established for ourselves. When you're making your goal, the one thing it must do, it must fill you with excitement, positive emotions when you think about it. It must be something you intensely desire to achieve. Whatever your goal happens to be, if you stay with it, if you're fully committed to it, you'll reach it. That's the way it works. My suggestion is goals must be written down where you can read them every day. If you're interested in a particular industry, subscribe to that industry magazine. There are magazines for everything. If I had to read every piece of literature I receive, I'd be doing nothing but reading. There are magazines for insurance, FBOs, satellites, maintenance, repairs, operations. I'd like to take this last moment and share one of my goals that I recently achieved. I sent an email to Agent and Broker magazine offering to write an aviation insurance article in order so I can get some free advertising. The magazine accepted my offer, but I was having difficulty focusing on it because there was too much information I could communicate about our specialized aviation industry. I asked the editor to come up with a list of questions for me for this article. She wanted the readers to know how to sell aviation insurance. One of my goals in writing the article was to demonstrate my expertise and offer my company, Aeronautical Insurance Services, as an aviation resource to firms that didn't have my expertise. My article, which I left, the sheet has copies of it, talk more about why they shouldn't go through the expense, trials, and frustrations of getting into this business, and why they should consider using an aviation insurance firm like Airlines to secure aviation business if they had an opportunity. Again, these people in the aviation business, as you know, they like people that speak the language. Let me tell you about the results from writing this article. I was approached by an insurance firm in Savannah that was interested in writing about Hilton Head International Airport. We worked together on putting a joint proposal together where Aeronautical was their aviation insurance on. We were invited to the bid and was interviewed, and I discussed my history of serving 17 international airports. We were awarded the business, and we placed the third largest broker in the world, Willis. The largest agency in New Hampshire with an office in Maine contacted me to assist them with one of their bank clients that gave loans on aircraft. The bank was concerned about their exposure as a lender. I worked with the local producer to understand the aviation insurance program designed for financial institutions and prepared the proposal. We're expecting to get an order to buy the insurance for this bank that has 86 aircraft in their portfolio. And this is my favorite. I was contacted by another agency in California that was approached by a new satellite component manufacturer. They didn't understand the exposure and needed help to secure this new client. The manufacturer designed a circuit board that goes into these CubeSats. They're basically small satellites that can range away from 5 pounds to 500 pounds. I marketed this new company with my space underwriters, selected to write it with an Embry-Riddle grad who works with Global Aerospace. 6 months later, this company is moving into the launch integration business, so they have new exposures, new increased premiums, and increased commissions, which is what I like. That's good business, and it's fun to see a company grow. In conclusion, I hope that I impress how important it is to establish meaningful goals that will set you on an exciting life journey for you and your family. The aviation needs new leaders to fight and maintain the best and most affordable system in the world. The ideas I share with you today come from a resource workbook I use at my company. I would like to share each section with you if you're interested in doing the work at the end of each section, which I promise will lead you on a successful path. You just graduated, and I'm already giving you homework. This homework, however, is about discovering yourself. Please send me an email with the heading ERAU graduation so I can share this information with you. My email address is listed in the article. Thanks again, and best of luck to you with your future. Never stop learning and dreaming. That's what I find so fascinating about life. It never is dull if you're challenged by exciting goals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bill, for your thoughtful words, challenging vision, and sound advice for our graduates, and for all of us. Please remain here just for a special presentation. Embry-Riddle recognizes individuals who have distinguished themselves through their professional accomplishments, national or international stature, or exceptional contributions to society. And we are particularly pleased today to honor one of those individuals. Our Distinguished Speaker Award is intended to honor speakers for sharing your special insight with the university community, especially with our students and faculty. We at Embry-Riddle proudly present you just a few mementos of Embry-Riddle as our distinguished speaker. Thank you so much.
At this time, the faculty of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide is pleased to present their candidates for graduate degrees. Candidates will be hooded by myself, Dr. Deborah Bordeaux, Associate Professor, College of Arts and Sciences, and Jason Rigonia, Adjunct Professor, College of Aeronautics. Hoods are the most expressive component of the academic regalia. Today, hoods communicate the owner's school, degree, and field of study through their length and the colors of the lining and binding. In classic tradition, Embry-Riddle's hood reflects the school's colors, sky blue and sun gold. The field of graduate study is designated by the color of the velvet binding, gold and yellow for the Master of Aeronautical Science, draft for the Master of Business Administration and Aviation, and for the Master of Science and Management. The presentation of the academic hood is a powerful, highly symbolic moment in both the candidates' lives and in the commencement ceremony. Congratulations on the honor of wearing this hood. The master's candidates wearing gold medallions have earned a 4.0 grade point average and are graduating with distinction. Will the candidates for master's degrees please rise? It is my honor to present the candidates for master's degrees as recommended by the faculty.
Corey James Bushwick, Master of Aeronautical Science with distinction. Steve Cruz, Master of Science and Management with distinction.